So yeah, you understand this trial a lot more. So a couple of questions we got. Um, right. So Matt, now at what point do you believe Emily actually decided to go through with it? If you know,
The day they found her,
you think, yeah,
I was hoping she was
that's
out
when you
there alive
decided.
someplace.
Uh, but
When did I finally realize that she killed herself? Was the day that they found her.
no, no,
No, when do you
no,
think
I
you
mean,
decided to?
no. When do you think she decided to kill herself?
oh,
Well,
when she was a child.
dude,
I don't know. She had a rough
yeah,
life. She was repeatedly molested when she was a kid. At what point do you decide, oh my God, that's,
That's
and come to
awful.
terms with that? And then you reach out to your friends to try
Bless
to
you.
get help. You reach out to your family, your husband, the people around you, and everybody just pretends like it didn't happen because they can't face it. I don't know. I don't know when I don't know. But she'd been thinking, she was saying weird shit. Like, I don't know if you ever suicidal people, what they do is they leave breadcrumbs. They let you know that they're going to do it. And she pretty much started leaving breadcrumbs as soon as I met her in 15. She read the book. She was the only one at her father's death. It was a story she told to many people. It was her father. She was there when her dad took his last breath. She talks about the death rattle, if you know what a death rattle
Yes,
is.
it's awful. I was there when my dad.
Really,
yes.
Not the most appropriate conversational pieces for some people. They don't want to hear it. I was intrigued with Emily immediately as soon as I met her. I'm like, this girl is real. She's talking about she's got real problems. That's my type of person. And she would talk about this death scene scenario of her father's, and she went into it in graphic detail, as if it was like a very big experience for her.
1000%.
And I'm not saying it was just me. I mean, we all kind of like, are you saying this for a reason? I mean, what is this? It was her reaching out, and we just didn't react. We didn't. Yeah. So the answer to that question is, she was suicidal when I met her.
that's interesting.
You just don't. I mean, what do you do?
That's very interesting.
What do you do?
That's interesting.
If you have a child,
hold on a second.
What you have to do is you got to give it to somebody. You got to give it to someone who's going to take you, because you're not going to be able. If you're not a doctor, you're not going to be. Adults, I mean, at what point do you like, okay, I'm going to call the authorities, and they're going to come and get you and stuff you in a fucking cell until they put you on their medication? That's a drastic, like a move, right? It was a very, very difficult situation to be in. And if you read my book, I do go into it intimately, what it's like to have a son, to be responsible for a son who I adored more than you could ever adore anybody in your life. I loved Joey more than you could love anybody. He slips through your fingers. He kills himself. 9 months later, within a couple months, your wife tries to hang herself in the garage. What do you do?
It's awful.
It was a very difficult situation. I took Emily down. I put her to bed. I kept my eye on her. I talked to her the next day about it. Calling the authorities was the last thing I was going to do after Joey.
Yeah,
after they did what they did to him. They tortured my son to death, by the way. No offense to the fucking fuck the medical Ohio fucking whatever they are out there. Fucking awful treatment. It's more about litigation. It's more about them being responsible for what happens if a person kills themselves. I'll give them this. They don't know what to do. Sure. They don't know where it comes from. They don't know how to treat it. They don't know what to do about schizophrenia and these mental health issues. What they do is they medicate it, and then do the best they can to keep them their liability from that out of the equation, so they don't get sued. Because it's not like they don't care; they just don't know what to do about it. The mental health crisis in this country is enormous.
Yep, it is.
These guys coming back from the war. The Iraq war. They're all fucked up. These kids are come back fucked up.
Yeah.
What is it about? It's about reducing the amount of liability that the government is to these kids that go over there. If they're not fucking trying to figure out how to, to prevent it, that would be where you'd want to go. Prevent it. They're not interested in preventing anything in this country. I don't know if you know about that, but it's all about treatment. They don't care. They ain't gonna make any money off preventing it. It's treatment.
Yeah. Big
Is that
pharma.
mind blowing to people? I mean, everybody knows this, right?
No.
So the mental health.
Everybody doesn't know. Everybody doesn't know that, but it is true. I mean, it is true. It's like the whole big pharma thing. They created the epidemic, and now it's like, yeah.
What'll happen to you if your kid decides that you have a problem and he says anything that makes them suspicious? They're gonna take him and put him in a hospital, and it's not a hospital. It's a dungeon. It's a prison with no fucking. It's a room that they can't leave, and they're stuck in there.
It's not warm and inviting. It doesn't give you warm, fuzzy feelings. That's for sure.
No.
It's not where you would put a person that's mentally fucked up. Yeah, what are you, fucking stupid? You don't put him in a room with a camera that's staring at him all day that he can't leave, and all you're doing is sitting there looking at a TV with one channel on it that plays cartoons with a camera.
That just brought back memories.
It's fucking horrifying, right?
That just brought back memories.
Emily. I wasn't going to be any part of that. Emily saw what it was. She was with me when I went through that with my child, and she saw what it was. She's like, don't ever put me in one of these fucking places. I said, don't worry. That ain't ever going to happen.
Ain't do it.
So when it came down to this thing where they're like, is your wife suicidal? I said, no, she's not.
Yeah. But you couldn't stand that. I couldn't stand that.
She was. But you know what? It doesn't give them the right to do what the fuck they did to me. And
Dr.
trust me,
Hines
it
wants
had
to
nothing
put
to do
something
with
in
whether
as well.
they did it to me or not on their end. They didn't give a fuck. They didn't care. They don't care.
Dr. Hines wants to jump in. Dr. Hines, go on, jump in, Dr. Hines, whilst we